welcome again to a new episode of Beyond the Last Man. Just wanted to say congratulations to Jonathan Giles finishing the Dublin Marathon yesterday, and I think in a time of 5 hours and something. He beat his record, and I think it was for a good cause as well. So congrats to Jonathan, doing something really, really good. And he's going to be on the other show. So I'm back on my show, and I have my normal guests with me, Ian and Brendan. Welcome, guys.
Hello. How are you?
Hello. So again, another busy week of football on the academy side, on the Arsenal side, in Europe, Champions League for the women, WSL for the women. So yeah, it's a busy thing. So we're going to start this week with the Europa League. And unfortunately, we're starting with a 2-0 loss. But I think it was a game which we kind of knew is going to be a tough game to go. After we played 9 games in October now, getting into this, going over to PSV, an early kickoff as well, 5:45. It was just kind of one of these things. We lost 2-0, obviously. Perfectly honest, I think we could have lost 5-0 if the goals were disallowed, and we got quite lucky, I think, with not quite lucky with the offsides, but it could have been worse. We're still top of the league, of the group, but we need a win now, or we have to better the result of what PSV is doing, definitely. So if they win, we have to win. I don't think a draw would be enough. So, but yeah, it's the Zurich game. We all said we should win, but fingers crossed. We just don't say this too loud. It's gonna be one of these games, and I think we can do it, but it's not gonna be an easy game. But it should be makeable. If you don't qualify for this, then you shouldn't be top of the group. I think if you lose to Zurich at home. But I don't want to talk too much about it. I want to let our guests have to say about it. So I'm gonna start maybe with Brendan today. So what did you think, or what did you make of the game during the week?
Well, it's quite funny because I was watching it, and a friend of mine was texting me and ringing me to ask me how it was going. This is in the first half, and I said, you know what, we're actually knocking the ball around really well, and like some of the diamonds and the triangles, really sharp, really tight, looked really good. I said, you know what, we're doing okay. Then obviously they had that offside goal, which should have, give us a bit of a warning as to what was to come. And but that's kudos to the defenders. That's an offside. They played the offside trap and they got it right, and they got it right twice before they actually eventually did score. But start of the second half, it just fell to pieces, really, and really disappointing. We couldn't pass the ball. Our sharpness had gone, and it's the same sort of thing that had happened in the previous 3 or 4 games before it, and that was a worrying sort of thing. And okay, it was going to be a tough shout anyway, but he put out a strong team and they just didn't perform, and it was really disappointing. And it was one of those, it was a blast back to last season, some of the games there, and disappointing. And I'm sure the players thought the same as well. They just wanted to get on the plane and go home, and we literally had our noses rubbed in it. But it's we played 4 out of 5 games we played away. It's tough going. It's travelling, and I am making excuses for them. But at the same time, look, if there was any of the games that we were going to lose that wasn't going to have a big bearing on us, it was that game. We lost it. We had to form in the next game, which we did against Forest, and leads us on to Zurich. We just got to do what we got to do against Zurich, and they've been the whipping boys of the group. And as you said earlier, if we can't beat them, then we don't deserve to be top of the group. But I think we'll beat them with a reserve team not playing well.
Yeah. I think that's the problem of the whole kind of setup. Look, we set ourselves a good base when we played at home and we won 1-0. So, we kind of knew we can go into this game. But I think that sometimes it's a hard, when you say, I only need a draw. And I don't think the focus was there. There was a few things, I think, and Ian was talking beforehand, said, I don't think we were set up properly. The pitch was a bit of an issue, but again, they have people, like they get paid for this. So they should know what they were dealing with, So yeah, actually let Ian come in and say, yeah, what did you make of it?
Yeah, kind of very similar to what kind of I suppose Brendan said there as well. I don't think we were set up to win this game. I think like we did have a strong enough lineup, stronger lineup than I thought we would have. But I think realistically, it kind of felt a bit like the game against Newcastle last season, where they started off quite well, started off strong, and it's like they just thought we can kind of grind this out, and you can't do that away from home and on a pitch where you're positionally not in the right place. You're playing on a really bad pitch. I'm not making excuses there either. PSV were far the better side, but I think you need to play to the I suppose the conditions that you're in, and I don't think that we did that. I think we literally just got opened up. I think it could have been far worse than 2-0. I think they played the offside trap quite well, but I just think it was one of those games that we just didn't turn up, which is unfortunate because, I mean, when you look at the comparisons to the first to the second half, it was non-existent really. They should have. It's the same story in a few games this season where they just switch off, and it's a concerning thing because we've been lucky, we've switched off and we've pulled it back where we've either scored conceded and got goals back within 5-10 minutes. But I mean, in another game, especially with Chelsea coming up at the weekend as well, even with never mind Zurich as well, that these are big games that you just I suppose, as Arteta has said it before, you have to kill teams off. You have to go in there with the attitude of you're going to win every game. Okay, yes, we were going into that game saying we only needed a draw. I hate when we are in those situations because 9 times out of 10, when Arsenal are in those situations, they end up losing it. A game that they only need to draw. Whereas if they go into games that people are like, they're not going to win that, they're going to lose, or they'll struggle, and then we absolutely boss it. And the reason being is because they're going into that game knowing they have to have full intensity the whole time. And I think they need to just go into every single game like that. Yes, it's hard, especially as Brendan said there, 4 of our games are away from home. That is a tough ask for any team to do. Doesn't matter who you are. You look at the likes of Man City, who are, I suppose, our direct competition for the Premier League this year, and they're drawing games as well, drawing games in the Premier League. So it shows it does take its toll on any player. Doesn't matter who you are. But I think it's a wake-up call that they needed. I do think we're well and truly strong enough to get the job done against Zurich at home. But I definitely think, if we can beat Zurich, there's no harm done. But it is definitely a wake-up call, and I think that credit to PSV. First and foremost, much better team. We made a few mistakes, didn't exactly help. I mean, Ramsdale had a horrible error. I mean, in fairness to him, he put his hands up at the end and they accepted that. But it's a wake up call to him too. We need to be more solid in our decision making, be it from our back four to Ramsdale has a habit of running out and not looking where he's running. There's no need to run out there. But I mean, these things happen, and I think they know the job needs to be done now on Thursday against Zurich. I do fancy us. I think it's going to be quite comfortable. I know we shouldn't really say that, tempting fate, but I think it'll be probably 2-0, maybe 2-1, maybe. But I think they have a serious wake-up call now, and hopefully they can get the job done now on Thursday.
Yeah. An interesting thing is going to be I don't know what happened to Turner. He has an injury. It's going to be interesting now who's going to play on Thursday. So it's going to be probably Ramsdale again. I can't see him playing Hein for some good reasons, because I don't think you want to have a keeper in there who hasn't played really any competitive minutes. The only thing what stood out for me as well, we're talking about PSV, in the first game, we seen flashes how good they were, but Tomiyasu had Gab under control. But as I said earlier as well, I think that kind of mismatch between Holding and Saliba, Holding playing on the wrong side, I think that didn't really work. I think Holding and Gabriel works well, but this didn't. Again, might not be a key issue. But what really always happens is, for me, is Xhaka, when he plays in the Premier League, he plays a completely different role. And
Yeah.
even that he played with even Lukonga, you know, to play, he just can't play the same thing because he did like what he did last season in the Premier League as well. He has to do like, you know, it's a fire brigade, you know, and he has to kind of rescue what's going behind. So he can't really play what he plays in the Premier League. And that's one of the big issues. And I think this is what we have to look at, even like we have a starting 11 in the Premier League, but we need to have this kind of sorted as well. I really think Zinchenko is missing because he could play these kind of games, you know, when Tierney or Tomiyasu is not playing on the left, he could play there. It's one of these things. Look, but again, we don't want to make excuses. It is a mentally tough game. And as you said, like we've seen so many other teams that, you know, crumbled as well in one of the things. Nothing is broken, thank God. But yeah, we've seen a few games in the Premier League as well that if we are not killing off teams, and that's one of the big issues. If you're not killing off teams, we're going to get punished. And thing is, but I have to say, like looking at the three players, like for me, they stood out beside the Arsenal players. Obviously, Gakpo, like we know now why he is being so looked after, you know, from whoever is going to buy him either in January or in the summer. Man United are favorites for him. The other fellow who stood out for me was Xavi Simons. Like he was some player, and he's not gonna be long there as well. I'd say he's gonna be gone pretty soon. And then on the other side as well, the fellow who scored a goal, Luke de Jong. I think looking at him now, I think that's exactly what we would need. Like another plan B, tall fella, you know, like and you can see when he came back in the second half, like he really changed that game. And you know, I think we just need this kind of player. So whatever we're gonna buy in the summer or in the January window, we might need somebody like his stature. You know, like I think that's really exactly, you know, we have Nketiah and think they're very similar, but we just don't have this plan B. And when we have like a game where we can bring somebody in and just cross the ball in and he's there, like a Giroud fella, like look at Haaland, he's that kind of stature as well. And look de Jong, I don't know. If he wasn't available when we were looking at him, I don't know where did he come from? Does anybody know? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like I don't know. Like I don't know what. It's a tough one.
Looking at for ages is a plan B, a big in centre forward, and like Vlahovic, who we were looking at.
Yeah.
Big guy, and all the other guys. I mean, that Scamacca that went to West Ham. There was talk that we were interested in him. And then obviously Jesus became available, and he's gone for a small centre forward instead of the strapping one that everybody else seems to be looking at now. So, but yeah, definitely think it would be advantageous to us to have that type of player.
Well, and as you said, because we were looking at this kind of thing with Vlahovic, you know, so we were looking at this kind of players, and I'm still thinking he will be looking at players like that because, you know, it's inevitable. You need somebody like this, you know, like you need another Crouch, really. You know, like somebody like, you know, a target man, like whoever this going to be, like an Ibrahima. But unfortunately, there is not that many players there to can fit that bill and who is available and who wants to play. Look, we'll see what it is. Look, I'm not moaning about what we are now. We are still top of the league. But yeah, I think that's kind of just shown like what would be out there and what we could or should have. I really think it would make a difference. But yeah, like look at this.
But even saying that, I think we're in the exact same situation that we were last season, in the sense that exact same situation but different circumstances. In the way that we needed to invest last January to try and cement our top 4 chances. Whereas now, if we can get the right calls in for January, we could definitely have a title push. There's no reason why we can't. Like, but we just need to have the backup there. That, like, I mean, it's proven there in a few games where you're bringing on Nketiah or you're bringing on like the likes of Lukonga, and they're not a player for player turnover, not that kind of way.
Did any of you watch the Celtic Shakhtar Donetsk game at all last week?
I seen flashes of it, but that fella from Ukraine, like he's
Woodrick. Oh my God, unbelievable! This guy, when he gets the ball, the whole stadium just turned electric. Even 60,000 Celtic fans. This guy is going to be an absolute superstar, and I know there's lots of talk, lots of clubs are interested in him. He would just take us to another level, I think. He's just.
They actually asked him after a game. I must actually. I think you can get it on YouTube or something. They said if Arsenal came looking for you, like, would you go to Arsenal? And he said that it's a dream. It'd be a dream to play for Arsenal, and like he's an Arsenal fan. If the right opportunity came to move to Arsenal, he would. And I mean, like what more incentive do you need to go out and get him? Like, do you know what I mean?
And I think, like, don't get me wrong. I think if the price was an option or like a problem beforehand, you know, we looked at him in the summer, seemingly like, look, we don't know what happened in the club, but it looked like we were looking at him, you know, and whatever the reason was, we didn't go for him because we might not have the option for it. But yeah, like looking at that, we are like on top of the league now, and we could go for something bigger, you know, that might open up a bit more the pockets, you know, like and to invest in something. And if we have something with Simchenko, you know, like he could persuade him as well. So look at the cards. I think the cards are in very good thing for us. I can't see a reason why we shouldn't. The only thing is price. I really think because like that thing what we had in the summer that we spent quite a lot of money and didn't make any money in, is the fair play rule or whatever. Like, but I think you can turn that if you really wanted to.
Well,
Manchester City does that, you know.
Josh Kroenke turned around and said, right, basically we put meat on the bones now of the squad. He's got the squad he wants. So now the only players that we're bringing in are quality. Yeah. So I know you might need a backup defender here or there, but forward and midfield, it's just quality that he's looking for. So I think they're going to be prepared to spend money. They say they have money, so let them put their money where their mouth is. And it's, you know, I'll keep my fingers crossed. If we can go for this guy, I'll be delighted. So
I think there's players we can get rid of as well. And I know, look, it's a horrible thing to say. Like, these are the players that had a part to play last season, but like the likes of Lokonga, like if someone puts a bid in for him, I think let him go. Do you know what I mean? Use that as funds to put towards.
Yeah.
And there's one thing was interested in him as well. So he's a big fish as well for you know, as an exchange with money, and that's been about as well. So.
And I mean, like there is rumors as well as like with Leicester being where they are now, Tielemans might be a steal because like obviously he's in the last year of his contract already, so he didn't resign. So like either they let him go for free in the summer, or they're just gonna cut their ties maybe like in January already, and you know, we might get him cheap, so that might be already some kind of money, because if you would have got him in the summer, that would have cost a lot more money, I think. So that might be something, because then you can replace Lokonga, you know.
It's in Tielemans' contract. I think I could be mistaken that if Leicester are relegated, his contract's terminated anyway.
But I think he's in his last year anyway.
It's up anyway.
Yeah, he's up anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But like, because I mean, Leicester are not in a good way anyway, financially as well as like in the league. So they probably can't afford to let him go for free. So I can see him moving. If he's not going to Arsenal, he might go somewhere else, because they need to they have to make some money on him. You know, they're in bad shape. And look, he wouldn't be a bad replacement for Lokonga, even though there's still, and I said it, I think the last time, I still think Lokonga is worthwhile keeping if we can, you know, get him the game time, and you know, like you can play him in games where, like for instance, the Carling Cup and the FA Cup are coming as well. So he will get better. He needs to be better, you know. But yeah, like he's not the type of player which you want to bring on, like, you know, if like Partey gets injured, you know, and you're relying on him on the Premier League game. He's not at that level yet. He might get in that level in 2-3 years, but he just needs to be. We need somebody, you know, who wants to sit. But that's the problem, you know. And I said that last year as well. Like, who are you going to get in? Who wants to, like, a good player, and then tell him, look, you have to sit on the bench. You know, that's not that easy, because our first starting 11 are kind of settled now. There's whoever you're going to bring in there, like, you know, who are you going to take out? So if you're going to get, like, even the fella from the Ukraine, if you get him in, like, you know, who are you going to get out? You know, we have Smith Rowe as well. He thinks we can only play 11, but it makes a stronger team. It makes a better thing. But I think Tielemans would be definitely a better option than Lokonga, because he's Premier League proven. He knows what it is. So he could be a good replacement. Even like when Xhaka is not playing, he could play him there as well. But look, let's see like what's happening. Let's see what the World Cup brings up, because normally when the World Cup is on, like, you see a few more talents popping up, you know, and then there'll be the frenzy afterwards to get the best players, whoever team it is. It's going to be a crazy season. I can't believe it's only 2 weeks to the World Cup. I think that's just the maddest thing ever. Like, you know,
it doesn't make sense. Like, it really doesn't make sense. I'd also say, like, I mean, look, we say there about players being on the bench and not being happy to be on the bench. Like, look at Man City. Do you know what I mean? This is the team that everyone is saying is going to run away with the league, because they've all this squad depth. But like, they've squad depth because they're just piling people on the bench, and like there's no harm with that, because they know you can pick any player in their starting 11 to get injured, and they have someone that can slot in there, and that's the type of kind of situation Arsenal need to be in. Like, I mean, if Partey got injured tomorrow, we'd suffer. Whereas if you say the likes of Grealish off Man City got injured, would they suffer? Probably not.
No.
They're not that kind of way. And that's the difference.
And then that's where we want to be. And like, I mean, to be quite honest, like being where we are now in the league, that's going to help. If we're going to be down 6th, 7th, 8th again, like, you know, like, you're not going to attract these players, you know. But if you say, look, you're on top of the league, if I get you in, you know, you come into a good club and you have even something to play, I think it makes it much easier to negotiate as well. So, let's see what happens anyway. But, yeah. But anyway, Thursday, Zurich, and then hopefully, like, it's be interesting who's going to play, because we need them all for Chelsea, I presume. That's going to be the game we're all looking forward to. And then if you can, as I said, I'm sure that the boys are talking about it on the other channel. Like, if you can get a result there, I think that would be some real statement, like, you know, to do something this season, and you know, hopefully being
starts would be
100%, because
I think we really, really, really need Jesus to hopefully get a goal on Thursday. Because I mean, I think it's a bit like Aubameyang, when Aubameyang wasn't scoring, and then he scored one and he got 3 or 4 from 5 on the next couple of games. I think once he scores, I think he'll end up kind of getting back into the form that we want him to be in.
But he played really well on Sunday. He was everywhere, and he was going back. He was tackling back in the last third. He was just unlucky. There was a couple of times. There was one he could have chipped over the keeper if he'd have taken it the first time. But it's not as if he's not playing badly. And I had a few guys outside the stadium afterwards, and they were all saying, "Look, it'd have been lovely if he'd have scored a goal." But I'll tell you what, he played well, didn't he? And that's you know. That's
the only unselfish player like I've ever seen. Like, I mean, yes, he's annoyed he's not scoring, as any striker would be. But like, he also had chances there where he could have took a shot, but he set up a goal, and like, that's the type of player that like he is. He's like he's there for the team. He's not there for himself.
Yeah. The only thing what I was worried about, that he gets a yellow card and not playing against Chelsea. That's why I think, why isn't it taking him off, you know? Yeah. But on the other side, like, he wanted, I'm pretty sure that's why he didn't take him off. He wanted him to get a goal, because once you're 3-4-0 up, you know, like you said, like, look, stay on, you know, get your goal, and that makes it even better, like, you know, to get his confidence up, you know.
Well, Saliba and Xhaka were both on yellows.
Yeah.
Which, you know, the problem for the Chelsea game, if they got a yellow, they were gone. So he took. So.
Yeah, no, like, as I said, like, you know, again, you can only change 5, and there was reasons for it. I'm sure if he would have scored a second goal, I think he would have taken him off, you know. You know, I think, I'm not sure, like, but look, it is kind of, it's a hard decision. But like, if he might play against Zurich, maybe he comes in and he might score a goal, that might do him the world of good. And if not, I hope it's going to explode against Chelsea and score 3. That's what it is. Look, I mean, we can all dream anyway, and thing, and yeah. So look, it was a bad result during the week. As I said, if you would have looked at all the games at the start of October and said you're gonna get away with, like, what did we have, 11 points out of the 9 games? So I don't know how many points we had, but we had like loads of wins anyway. Sorry, that's for the Premier League. In Premier League, we won all the games, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I seen a stat there the other day. They said if Arsenal maintain on the same form that they're on now in terms of points per game, that we'd be on 99 points by the end of the season, which I mean.
Look, if yes and no, but like, look, I think that there's only one team that ever lost the Premier League after 11 games with 31 points, or something like that, or like 12 games with 31 points. So I think it was Newcastle, innit? So. Look, as I said, I'm still not pretty concerned with a title. I just think I just love the way we play. I just love the way the football we can play, and if we can maintain that, like after the World Cup with no injuries and something like, look, we will have injuries one way or the other, but like if there's nothing bad happen to us, and if we can maintain it, I think we definitely have a chance to be top 2. City. They're just, for me, they're outside of everything. Like, they have such a strong bench. The only thing that can really happen to them is Haaland getting a bad injury, and he's not playing in the World Cup, so I don't know how that's going to happen. But
injured now, isn't he?
Yeah, it's just one of these things, you know. But like, look, as I said, I don't want to. I'd be talking if we're still there in March, April, I might get talking into like a title contender. But until then, like I'm just taking the results as they come. And like a defeat leg against PSV on Thursday is hurting even more because we can play well and and we should play well. But look, it happens, and if nothing worse happens than that, like then I'm okay. And if he can back up every defeat with a 5-0 that game after, I don't mind either. So, but yeah, like it's a good season anyway because like was it yesterday or on Sunday? Like the under 21s are still unbeaten as well. They played 1-1 against Crystal Palace, so they're top of the league, and also the women. They're top of the league as well. Well, they're actually not top of the league. They're actually second, just in goal difference, because they only scored 14 and conceded 1. So like in Man United have like scored 14 and didn't concede any. So it's gonna be one of these things. Actually, I'm very surprised with Man United from the women's team because I don't know if they didn't play anybody yet decent, but they're on top of the league there as well. So which is good to see a bit more competition rather than Chelsea. But it is, and that just actually brings us over to the women. They had a good result. They actually, if you can get a 3-1, what they did against Zurich, what the women did, I take that 3-1 any day. They actually played in the Emirates for the Champions League game and had quite a I think convincing result. There was like Jordan Nobbs scored a goal and Lisa Hurtig as well. Had scored 2 goals, and it was a quite convincing 3-1. They're top of the league there in the Champions League, and they're going to play Juventus on the 24th in Turin. So they, as I said, they're 14 games unbeaten as well in what they do, only conceding 4 games. They're really, really strong side at the moment, the women, and long may it continue for them as well. And on the weekend, they played West Ham. Actually, they went down for the first time. Zinsberger conceded a goal in 10 games, which was a bit an unlucky goal. I don't know if you've seen it. Like it just kind of rebounded off the post on her head and then into the goal. But they came back again with Nobbs and Blackstenius and Frida Manum scored the goals again. So, yeah, look, they never looked like they were in trouble. They're just playing some really, really good football. They have loads of depth in strength. And one thing as well for the Sunday game, it was Katie McCabe's 100th appearance in the WSL. So another anniversary for one of the Irish girls. And yeah, like, so long may it continue. So, yeah. So what, I don't know if you've watched any of the women's game. Did you see anything or just see the highlights maybe?
I saw one of the goals against West Ham, which was absolute. Yeah. That was about it. Didn't really see. Like I was over in London at the weekend, so I didn't get much of a chance to see too many things. So great to see. And there's lots of people over there talking about them, which is great as well. So long may it last.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, is that in?
Yeah, no, I'd seen the highlights. Okay, all right, like really, really good goals. I think I always get her name wrong. Is it Maida? Or
Miedema.
Miedema, yeah, that's the one. Yeah. I always get her second name wrong. But no, she had a great goal there as well. So she's playing very well this season. And look, I think they all are really. And as you mentioned there, it's great for Katie McCabe as well to get her 100th appearance as well. And I mean, she had a fantastic season so far, especially with Ireland making it to the World Cup as well, which is a great achievement.
100%.
So
it's like all the women's thing. It's just a thing. Like I mean, we had the draw for the World Cup as well. I think we play Australia, no?
Yeah.
And
Ireland are in the opening game, I believe.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a good summer, you know.
Yeah, I think they got Canada as well.
Yeah. They won the Olympics, didn't they? So they're not Canada won the Olympic football team for the women, so they're quite
good.
Quite good team. So like it's not going to be an easy task like any kind of big cup, but I think they have the bottle to do it. They're all up for it, you know. Ireland is like it's a bit like, it reminds me a bit of the men's Irish team years ago in the 90s. You know, like they're well defending, you know, they're great goalkeeper, you know, good defense, you know, and they have like the counter attack, you know, and they go for it, you know, and if they score, they're well for it, you know. Sometimes look, like stronger teams, they might be more technical, and I think that was with the Irish team as well. You would always have the more, and I always find like the Irish teams they play better against technical teams because they can counterattack them, and the women team are the same. So look, I hope they do well over there, and just like it raises the bar for women's football, and it's just good to see, unfortunately Ulster didn't qualify.
And I was listening to them. They were saying that they play a specific way and they're happy with it, and it gets them results, and it's got them to the World Cup. So
brilliant. And again, it reminds me of Jack Charlton, like in the days, we played one way and that's it, and you play that game, and if you can, you can get like mad results, and that's what it is, and it's good. It's just good to see, and it's just gonna give it's like the English won the World Cup with the women, so maybe we can do some results as well. I don't think we're gonna win it, but they won the European Championships. They got a trophy, but it's good to be there. But that's basically it. Just actually everybody thinking what kind of clown costume I'm gonna wear. But this is for the rainbow laces. There was the warm-up T-shirt for the Premier League, and so I thought I support the guys and just wear it. Might not be my best T-shirt I have, but but
suits you.
It's for a good cause, I presume. So next time I'm gonna be wearing something suitable again.
You look like a superhero, so we'll let you.
Actually, to be honest, and it's kind of like one of these cartoony thing, and the big bong boom zoom T-shirt. So look, it's not that bad. But I don't think I'll be wearing it quite a lot. So it's just
once it's not a Tottenham top, we're fine.
You need to give us a little bit of a twirl so we can see behind and everything on it.
No, it's not really. There's nothing in the back. It just looks exactly the same on the front as it does on the back. So it is. But it's funny. And I have to say, Adidas are just actually quite genius. If you look at the jerseys, what they made for the Premier League generally, for Leeds, for United, for Arsenal, they're all kind of the same. And even when United played afterwards against West Ham, they had, I don't know if it was the same and they just put a different crest on it, but they had exactly the same warm-up jersey on. Obviously, it's for a good cause. It's for the rainbow laces thing for. And look, if they can make money, that's why they renewed the contract till 2027. It gets Arsenal some money, it gets everybody some money, and it's mostly for good causes as well what they do. So long may it continue, and it's good to see,
Isn't it just?
As long as they have me to buy things, they're all fine. But no, well, look, we might auction it, for whatever, I don't know. I still have one of them, the what's it called, the no more red jerseys at home. So I think I might raffle this for Christmas. So I have a white jersey at home, so which is quite.
I just feel interesting. That's the only reason I mentioned it. So.
Grant. Well, that's basically it today. Thanks again for listening. And again, our subscriptions are going up. It's 2,600 now, which is really good to see. So just whatever and actually I might mention it. We do have a thank you button now under the YouTube channel. So if anybody wants to support us, all you have to do is click it and you can donate, I think, from 50 cents all the way up to £100, whatever, or €100, whatever you want to give, So any subscribers are feeling really generous, we do need this. We're not doing this on a on a daily basis, or we're doing this. We need a second job for doing this. But yeah, now it's just it's nice to see that everybody is buying into this somehow. We're trying our best and we try to make it better. So if you have any comments, just please let us know. And we're still kind of looking for a woman, maybe, to talk about the WSL. That would be really good. If you have any gooners based in Dublin or Ireland who want to talk about women's Arsenal football, please let us know. Send us a DM, send us a comment, and then we might get you on the show. All right, guys, thanks again for tonight. Good show. And yeah, let's hope we beat Zurich and then up for the big game at 12 o'clock on Sunday against Chelsea. All right.
Hopefully we'll have a happy show next week.
Well, yeah, as Arscast always says, goodly morning, let's hope we're a goodly morning next week.
We'll all come with our superhero tops.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, look, it doesn't matter if we don't win, but if we can wear the superhero tops, that's fine. No, other way around. Lads, have a good evening and thanks
Have a
again
good
for the
one.
show, all right?
And
See you
yeah,
later,
Take care,
guys.
man.
Talk
Good
to you
luck.
later. Bye. Bye. Bye.